In Euthia, Torment of Resurrection, players take on the role of a hero, traveling across the land, fighting monsters, liberating places of trading, mining, and upgrading their heroes with new abilities and equipment. Each scenario is uniquely different, and in this video we're going to discuss how to set up a game of Euthia. The first thing you're going to want to do for any game session is pick the scenario you're going to play. For example, the very first scenario in the scenario book is the hunt. This is kind of like the tutorial scenario. It's going to give you the number of game rounds that you're going to go through. It's going to give you the goal, your goal for the game, any special setup rules, special rules while you're playing, and then how to score final scoring if you're playing multiplayer. It's also going to give you this one of these charts here like this, which is going to tell you, based on your player count, how many fixed map tiles, encounter map tiles, and other map tiles. And there's one more type that we'll show here in a second, but fixed map tiles are going to look like this. And this is a fifth one, so let's show you one of the earlier ones here. So you see it's got the little flourishes on the side. Now these specifically are for solo play. So if you're playing solo, you want to make sure you find the ones with the single person. The multiplayer ones don't have this little guy right here. So the fixed solo or the fixed map tiles have difference between solo and multiplayer ones. Then you have your encounter tiles here. These are going to all be unique, and they're each going to have a unique encounter on them. So this appears to be the blacksmith on this one, dwarven forage maybe on this one, this is the hunter or the tanner or something like that. But there's basically not going to be any two encounter tiles that are the same. That way, as you're going around and you flip one of these over, you'll flip over some encounter cards that will lead to quests you can take on for those encounters, but you're never going to then see this dwarven forge again. You're only going to see it once on the map. So that's why we have encounter cards, and sometimes scenarios don't call for encounters, so there won't even be this row. Then you have the other map tiles. There's nothing really that special about those. Again, this is just the arrow here with nothing underneath it, but this is going to give you places to get your treasures, fight monsters, places to mine, portals, just have all the basic stuff that is going to appear in most every scenario. The last type, and we got to flip through the book here a little bit to find some that we need, is these scenario specific tiles. So for example, here in Into the Abyss, it's giving us this symbol with the 3 flourishes instead of the 2. Remember, the 2 flourishes, or the 2 little things at the top, like up here, is for encounters. These are scenario specific. So this is Into the Abyss, and at 1 player, you want to find the 3rd chapter one, and there's only going to be 1. So here you can see I found the 3rd chapter one, and it's the only one with the purple things at the top. And so you need to look, I know it's kind of hard to see. Let's lift this up a little bit here. But there you can see better that the little arrows at the top, the 3 arrows at the top are purple. This one here is purple, and this one matches, because if you were playing 2-player, you would find the 2 one. If you're playing 3-player, you'd find the chapter 1 one. And remember, we're going to talk about here in a second how we stack these up, but basically chapter 1 tiles always come out first, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. So it's interesting, in a 3-player game, you're going to know where this abyss token is, or abyss spot is, very early on, and then be able to work together to find elementals to bring to it, and that's how you close it. Whereas in a solo game, it's not until chapter 3 that you're going to come across the abyss. And let's see which one's the worst. Yeah, in 4-player, oh well, you could come across 2 abysses, it looks like, or several. Oh yeah, because this is a competitive one. It can be solo and cooperative. You can close multiple ones in a 4-player game. So anyways, there are the different types of map tiles. Let's talk about what you do with them now. So once you've pulled out all of the map tiles that are required for the scenario, you're going to create your map tile stack. So first things first, you always want to find your starting tile, which if you have just the core game is always going to be the one with the church. You can see it's a fixed map tile. Technically it does not have the solo icon, but this one is used in every single game as the starting tile. There is no priest in front of this church. There's also no question mark, because there is an encounter for a second church that has a big question mark on it and a priest on it. So find the church with no priest, and that's specifically stated in the rulebook. But you're going to set this off to the side, technically in the middle of the table somewhere, because you're going to grow out your map from it. For now, we're just going to put it up there. Then you're going to get all of your map tiles that you have pulled out from the various scenarios. So here, for example, I have solo fixed map tiles, my standard or other map tiles, and my encounter tiles based on the counts that the scenario gave me. You're then going to flip these over and you're going to separate them out by chapter type. So I would take all my 1s and put all my 1s in a stack. You see there's a bunch of 1 encounters. And then I would take all my 2s, put them in a stack, all my 3s, all my 4s, and sometimes scenarios don't go this high, but we just wanted to show off everything, and all my 5s. You'll then take your 5s, you'll shuffle them up, put them down, you'll take your 4s, shuffle them up, put them on top of the 5, so on and so forth. You can probably see what's coming at this point. Boom, 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 boom. And the stacking of tiles in this way is very reminiscent to Mage Knight. Basically, you're going to get the easier tiles at the beginning. And there you go. There is probably too big of a map tile stack for a solo game, but that was just an example. So we've created our map tile stack. We're going to set this off to the side. Again, this one would go in the middle, and we can place our miniature on the church. To set up your particular hero board, you're going to want to go ahead and get said hero board. Also your miniature, we don't need this guy at the moment in time, but we'll set him off to the side. So first things first, let's go ahead and give Drawl his health tokens. So if you have the dual layer boards, you should have these black and red tokens. The black one is going to be set basically at its maximum, keeping the red one from going any higher. So the red is actually his health. It'll go up and down, but as you would gain items that might increase your overall health, you can move the black one up, and the red one knows it can just get as high as the black one will allow. Also, we're going to go ahead and give him 4 GAR tokens. Every character has 4 slots and gets to start with 4 in total. Also, we're going to go ahead and pull out all of the hero tiles for your particular character. So Drawl's are all bluish, and his starting tiles are going to have his weapon. So you can see his giant axe, and if you have the expansion, these 2 skulls are just alternate starting equipment that you can choose to play with if you so choose. So I'm just going to put those right there, and let's take a look at his starting equipment here. So we have a rusty cleaver, which comes with the expansion, or a rusty sword. These are pretty similar. You know, this one is a little easier to hit on the 2-on, but this one gives you basically almost a guaranteed hit. The lowest you can do is a 2. But this one also only has to hit on a 9+ to hit 3, whereas this one has to hit on a 2+. So let's go ahead and just make this our weapon. You can see that this little sword here matches this sword symbol down here. So we're going to pop that right there. And then we also have first aid here. Again, this is part of the expansion, but why not? I'm going to go ahead and pop it right here. See, there's nothing here. There's no cost yet to fill in this spot, but I want to save this one for either a second weapon or a ranged weapon. So I'm going to put first aid here. And basically at any point on my turn, I can exhaust this and heal 1 heart. So pretty straightforward. This, just goes off to the side somewhere. You're also going to want to get all of the tokens for your specific character. Every character has their own set, and a set of dice that matches your character. Out of this token tray here, we're going to want to find his action tokens. Now, I should have 2 sets of each, but for right now we only need 1. We're going to give him his 3 movement attack, his 1 movement mining, and his 2 movement trade action. Again, he's got a whole nother set of them in case he wants to save an action during his turn. He can save it for the following round, and that's why you would need 2. At this point, we have gone ahead and set up our hero character. There might be some other scenario specific rules that might change this setup, but again, just make sure you're paying attention to the scenario rules. Some of them allow you to start with more equipment, some of them have you start with things in your rucksacks or even armor to begin with. So all right, up next we are going to want to gather up, shuffle, and create stacks of all of the various tiles in the game. What you see here are the deluxe storage components. I highly recommend these, but this is easily the most tedious part of setup. So let's take a look at these. Here we have our mining action or mining tokens. So these are going to be, if you mine an area, you're going to be drawing one of these and storing it on your board. So you've got your mountains, your lakes, and your underground caverns. You'll shuffle those up and stick them in their own piles. And you can see, pretty easily that the picture on the back here matches that picture. So that's going to be the case for all these stacks. This other small stack here, this is going to be your treasure tiles. So random hole in the ground, abandoned house, and abandoned castle. Again, the picture on the back is matches the stack it goes into. These are going to be what you can pick up if you take the free hunt for treasure action. And then last but not least, the by far biggest tower here, this is your market tiles. So this one is made even bigger if you have the expansion, but you have your basic market, your alchemists, and then your dragon slayer tower there. Again, you're going to want to shuffle all those up and create stacks for them. After you have shuffled up all of those tiles, you're going to want to then shuffle up and create stacks of your silver cards, your gold cards. If you are playing solo, your AI combat deck. You're also going to want to have your elemental reference cards and encounter cards, which are on the back side if you want to encounter an elemental. And then stacks of your various enemies. So that's level 2, there's level 1, and here's level 3. All of these need to be within, easy reach of all the players, and also the She's intervention reference card and the giant She's die. And last but not least, you're going to want to get out this large board here. This is going to have your market on this side, and then your XP track right here, and your round trackers tucked here in the middle. So you'll go ahead and fill in the market with, you could wait technically to fill in like these until they are revealed, but the instructions do say to go ahead and fill them in now. I like to do that way I can kind of see, what sets do I feel like am I going to be able to find? And there's actually no armor sets in the Alchemist Tower right now. So there you go. You can see what's coming in the future towers. Our market is now set up and we are ready to go. The last thing you're going to do is take one of your specific character tokens, place it up here on the 0 spot of the XP track, and then take any token. I usually just use another one of my hero tokens and place it on round 1 of the round tracker. You also, if there's a specific number of rounds that you have to complete the challenge in, you could always stick another one there to remind you, hey, this is how long I have to go. But at this point, you have basically set up for most every game. Again, scenarios may have specific rules of additional things you'll have to do, but this covers the basics. In our next video, we're going to talk about how to play Euthia. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.